Pakistani mangoes, sweet, golden, and bursting with flavor, are far more than just fruit. These mangoes once became the center of a communist revolution in China, and they might have even caused one of the most mysterious and infamous plane crashes in modern history, the crash that killed Pakistani dictator General Zia and two senior American officials. From being symbols of love and luxury to tools of soft diplomacy and agents of chaos, Pakistani mangoes have led revolutions, traveled as peace offerings, and, some believe, carried secrets strong enough to kill. Every year, as the blistering Pakistani summer deepens, something magical happens. Trees that once stood with silent green canopies burst into golden clusters. Markets across the country, from Karachi to Lahore, become fragrant with a scent unlike anything else, ripe, sugary, tropical. It's not just fruit season, it's mango season. For Pakistanis, mangoes aren't just a fruit. They are tradition, emotion, memory, celebration, and sometimes, a very strange form of international diplomacy. This video dives deep into a story that blends sweetness and power, flavor and folklore, revolution and death, all centered around one fruit, the mango. And as the sun blazes and crates stack up across the country, it's time we unpack this juicy saga from the orchards of Multan to the corridors of global politics. Pakistan is home to over 250 varieties of mangoes, though around 30 are commercially grown. The country ranks among the top mango producers globally, right after India, China, and a few Latin nations, but many connoisseurs will tell you, and not just Pakistanis, that no mango on earth compares to the ones grown here. There's Sindri from Sindh, big and oval with golden skin, arriving early in May like the season's first trumpet. But the undisputed king is Chaunsa, juicy, fibrous-free, deeply aromatic, with a sweetness that lingers like poetry. It was named after the Battle of Chausa, where Sher Shah Suri defeated one of the Mughal emperors. And just like that historic win, Chaunsa too has conquered taste buds far and wide. What makes Pakistani mangoes so unique? It's the alluvial soil, the dry heat, the ancient farming techniques, and the deep-rooted generational care, where families have been growing mangoes not just as crops but as inheritances. Entire picnics are based around eating mangoes by the dozen. At mango festivals, people engage in mango-eating contests, showcasing who can finish a chaunsa in one breath without dripping a single drop. Beyond homes and bazaars, mangoes have another job: international relations. Every year, Pakistan sends crates of its finest mangoes to over 40 countries, a practice fondly known as mango diplomacy. Leaders from Saudi Arabia to the UK, from Turkey to China, receive elegantly packaged boxes of mangoes with handwritten notes or flags tied around them. It's soft power at its most delicious. Even India's Prime Minister Modi once received mangoes from Pakistani Prime Minister, though the political climate never stayed sweet for long. During tense years, these mango gifts are scrutinized like state secrets. One year, Pakistani mangoes to the UAE were blocked due to fruit fly concerns, which many speculated had more to do with politics than pests. Still, the tradition continues. In diplomacy, where every move is choreographed, nothing is accidental. Sending mangoes is not about generosity, it's about reminding the world that Pakistan isn't just a nuclear power. It's a mango power, and believe it or not, these fruit-laden boxes have sometimes done more to melt ice than entire UN speeches. One of the darkest and most bizarre chapters in mango history lies in the ashes of an aircraft. On August 17, 1988, General Zia Haq, Pakistan's military dictator and one of the most controversial leaders in its history, boarded a C-130 Hercules aircraft in Bahawalpur. Accompanying him were top military generals and the American ambassador to Pakistan, Arnold Raffel. Also on board, dozens of crates of mangoes, reportedly gifts for the American delegation. Minutes after takeoff, the plane exploded midair and crashed, killing everyone on board. To this day, the cause remains officially unknown, but theories abound. A bomb hidden inside mango crates, a chemical agent, mechanical failure, pilot poisoning, The fruit that had sweetened so many lives may have also hidden death within it. Some believe the mango crates were used as cover to smuggle explosives. Others think the fruit was irrelevant, a red herring, but the symbolism stuck. Too many Pakistanis, Zia's death became known as the mango crash. The sweet, deadly irony was too rich to ignore. Still, the crash is called mango explosion. In 1968, halfway across the world, in a completely different political theater, mangoes took a divine role during the height of China's Cultural Revolution. How Pakistani mangoes sparked a cult in communist China. Yes, you heard that right. Pakistani mangoes didn't just win hearts in South Asia or impress diplomats, they once ignited a literal fruit-worshipping cult in Mao's China. In August 1968, during the bloody and chaotic height of China's Cultural Revolution, Mian Arshad Hussain, the foreign minister of Pakistan, visited Chairman Mao Zedong. As a customary diplomatic gesture, he brought a box of Sindri mangoes, golden, fragrant, soft-fleshed fruit straight from Pakistan's orchards. Instead of eating them, Mao did something unusual. He handed them over to a group of factory workers who had just intervened in violent clashes between rival Red Guard factions at Tsinghua University, where over 700 people were injured. Mao's act of giving mangoes was interpreted as a supreme gesture of gratitude and personal sacrifice. After all, Mao didn't eat the fruit himself. The workers were stunned. Most of them had never seen a mango in their lives. Some thought it was a mythical fruit, akin to the peaches of immortality in Chinese legend. And that's when things got surreal. The mangoes were placed in glass cases and paraded like holy relics. Wax and plastic replicas were made and worshipped across the country. Mango-themed merchandise exploded: mango mugs, mango cigarette packs, mango-scented soap, mango medallions. Even propaganda films like The Song of Mangoes were produced. Patriotic slogans were printed beneath images of mangoes and Mao. One man who dared to criticize the frenzy was executed as a counter-revolutionary. The fruit had become a symbol of loyalty to Mao, a bridge from ideology to divinity. And where did it all begin? With a box of mangoes from Pakistan. Major academic accounts and Chinese state archives trace the origin to that Pakistani diplomatic gift. It was Pakistan's mangoes, not just Mao's charisma, that unintentionally triggered one of the strangest episodes in global political history, a mango cult under communism. After more than a year, the cult of the mango had declined significantly, and some people even began using wax mangoes as candles when the power went out. In 1974, Imelda Marcos, the First Lady of the Philippines, visited China with a box of mangoes as a gift. Mao's wife Jiang Qing tried to reignite the veneration of mangoes by giving the box to the workers once again. Jiang Qing later directed a propaganda film called The Song of Mangoes. However, before the film was finished, Mao Zedong died, representing the loss of the revolutionary figurehead of the Cultural Revolution. Within a week of the film's release, Jiang Qing was arrested. This marked the end of the mango cult. Mangoes are now common in China and are seen as an ordinary consumer good. If there were ever a battlefield as fierce as Kargil, but Juisir, it would be the mango rivalry between India and Pakistan. On one side, you have India's famous Alfonso, grown in Maharashtra and celebrated for its smoothness and intense aroma. On the other side, Pakistan's Chaunsa, richer, deeper, more vibrant. In global markets like London or Dubai, there's a yearly tug-of-war for shelf space. Pakistanis claim their mangoes are sweeter and more natural. Indians argue that Alfonso is the gold standard. Trade barriers, export bans, and sudden pesticide regulations have been used as tools in this fruity arms race. Even climate change has entered the arena, as both countries face declining yields and shifting seasons. But one thing is clear, the mango is not just a fruit in this region. It's an extension of pride, identity, and regional supremacy. Behind the joy of every bite lies an intense journey. From the orchards of Multan, mangoes go through a meticulous process. First, they are plucked at 80% ripeness, not fully ripe, so they can mature naturally during transit. Then comes hot water treatment to kill any bacteria or larvae, followed by a grading process based on weight, color, and skin condition. Only the best make it to export boxes. Next comes cold storage and transit, often by air freight to Europe or the Middle East, monitored by temperature control tech. It's an elaborate, sensitive journey. Meanwhile, the rest of the mangoes flood local markets and homes. Mangoes have been mentioned in Urdu poetry, Hindu mythology, and even Mughal court records. The great poet once said, "Let there be mangoes, and let them be limitless." For the mules, mangoes were garden jewels. Emperors like Akbar planted mango orchards as symbols of prosperity. In folk songs across Sindh and Punjab, mangoes are used as metaphors for first love, desire, and sweetness in hardship. So the next time you slice into a mango, take a moment. You're not just eating fruit. You're tasting centuries of cultivation, moments of political drama, revolutionary worship, and personal memories passed down from one season to another. From deadly plane crash to sacred revolutions, from soft power diplomacy to sibling fights over the last piece, Pakistani mangoes carry more than pulp. They carry stories. They carry history. And every summer, for a few months, the nation becomes one again, savoring, celebrating, and sometimes conspiring over the simple, glorious mango.